Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Shoney's Tuesday night racing series here on iRacing, getting ready to do our final race of the season here tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's going to be a barn burner here tonight. Old Atlanta, awesome track to watch a race at. A lot of character here in this track, as we see Jonathan Jennings currently up at the top of the leaderboard. We see him making his way around the racetrack, kind of running that high lane right now. As we know, Atlanta has a lot of character. The track is very abrasive. We're going to see drivers moving all over the place here tonight. Of course, Jonathan Jennings has been crowned the series champion again this season. So congratulations to Jonathan in your championship. Let's take a look at the rest of the points, though, coming into tonight. You see Jonathan Jennings up at the top of the leaderboard there. He is your champion. Over 300 points over second place, Andrew Lucas. Christopher Leftwich back in third. Justin McMahon and Jonathan Smith. And there is still a little bit of a battle going on back there for that second place here in the championship. So we'll be watching for that here tonight. And we'll leave this up on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is in points. We have just a few more minutes here of practice before we get things underway. We'll see about a minute left here in practice. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit the little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, those likes really do mean a lot to us, so we do appreciate those when they come through. Also want to give a shout out to all of our great partners here in the Doghouse Racing League, including our series sponsor, Shoney's. Your Tuesday night Doghouse Racing series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared breakfast bar or take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Also want to thank our group of sponsors you see down in the left-hand corner, including Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Race Designs, and Fanatics. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is an affiliate partner with Fanatics. They earn commissions when you purchase through the link down below. They use those commissions to help fund the league. So you can check down all that out down below at the link down below. Of course, our race tonight is sponsored by Drake's Garage. Please check out our race sponsor, Drake's Garage, on YouTube and Instagram. Drake's Garage does customization, welding, auto repair, building products, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and much, much more. And we have the link down below, or the @ down below. You can find him on YouTube and on Instagram. So I want to thank Drake's Garage for coming on for the final race of the season. We see Jonathan Jennings out on the racetrack right now, getting ready to get his qualifying underway. Again, Jennings, your season champion. 300 points ahead of second place, which is an incredible feat. And he won a handful of races, or almost all the races this season. So anytime you have a dominating performance like that, it's really easy to be on top that much. As we see Mike Leftwich first jumped up to the pole for a moment, but Jonathan Jennings jumped into that top spot. Mark Dumont currently in the second position. Kevin Brown back in third. And this is a track that really suits drivers like Jonathan Jennings, Justin McMahon, a few others who can really save tires and keep those tires under them for the duration of the race. As Jennings comes down across the stripe. And he's going to better his time with a 31.36. Travis Townsend just went P2 as he comes across the stripe here. See what Townsend's able to do on his second lap. Not quite fast enough to get up to Jonathan Jennings. As Lucas Edwards just went second quickest here tonight. Then he gets bumped back by the 27 of Christopher Simon. Here's Gary Maydew making his way through turns 3 and 4. And Maydew's going to make his way across the stripe. And he's going to jump up into the 6th spot. Here's the 31 of Eric Warman. Currently up in the 22nd position. See what he does here on his second lap. And you see that car starting to bounce around as he goes down into turn number 3. I mentioned earlier, this track has a lot of character. It has a lot of bumps. It's very abrasive. The tires are going to wear out really quickly, especially that right front. So we'll be watching for that all race long as here comes the 9 of Stephen Bonomo down across the stripe on his second lap. And that lap is going to be good enough for 21st. As Peyton Duggar moves up to 22nd in the 971 machine. Here's the 117 of Richard Leclerc out on the racetrack. He is the only driver left out on the racetrack right now with about a minute left of qualifying. This comes down the backstretch. Watch how much this car bounces around going down into turn number 3. See the bumps right there. That chassis moving around quite a bit through the corner, so that could be a troublesome spot for some of these drivers here tonight. As Leclerc comes across the start-finish line, he's going to jump up into the 22nd position. And with about 17 seconds left, that's going to do it here for our qualifying. This is not going to have enough time for anybody else to get out onto the racetrack. So again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, whether you're new here, thanks for joining us, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick. We do appreciate you tuning in with us here tonight. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we want to thank all of our great partners, including our partners over here at Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, our web store over at IntensityRacing.com. You can find hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, novelty t-shirts, as well as Atlee Atman race gear. And if you are a small-time race team and you're looking for swag of your own, check out IntensityRacing.com and get a quote today. Of course, you can also check out our great partner down at Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Of course, the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Of course, tonight's race is brought to you by Drake's Garage. You can check out Drake's Garage down at the link below. They're over on YouTube and Instagram. And Drake's Garage does customization, welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and much, much more. So check out Drake's Garage on YouTube and Instagram. Let's take a look at our starting grid here tonight with Lucas Edwards. Is a row back. Let's try again. Jonathan Jennings up on the pole here tonight, and Christopher Simon in the 27 with a great starting spot, rolling off in position number 2. We'll find Lucas Edwards and Travis Townsend back in row 2 with Justin McMahon in the 24 and Steve Gerber rolling off from the 6th position. Gary Maydew rolls off 7th with Andrew Lucas to his outside in 8th. Then Kevin Powell and John Smith round out your top 10. Row 6 will find Mark Dumont and Kevin Brown. And then Sorry, then Gary Ameo and Baker Knapp back in row number 7. Sorry, my timing scoring froze up there for a second. Eric Warman back in the 31 machine. He'll roll off 15th with Daniel Wilkerson back in the 16th position. 17th will be Cameron King and Michael Dow back in 18th. Bill Gentry and Trevor McCallan are back in row number 10. And Stephen Bonomo and Richard Leclerc back in row 11. Row 12 will find Peyton Duggar and Mike Leftwich, with Jeffrey Engel and Orlando Harrell back in the 25th and 26th position. 27th is Ty Schoening, Nick Schnell back in, or Shell, excuse me, back in position 28. Chuck Cobb and Joey Beck round out the field here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. As Jonathan Jennings gets to lead them down to the starting zone, pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Atlanta. Field makes their way down into turn 1 for the first time. Jennings sneaks out in front of Christopher Simon. Here comes the 76 of Lucas Edwards down on the low side. He's trying to make some hay while the sun shines on these fresh tires. This is the best these cars are really going to handle here tonight, is when they're on fresh tires. Justin McMahon right there trying to follow through. He's going to look down to the inside of Travis Townsend as they go down into turn number 3. As they come through turns 3 and 4 and off of turn number 4, Jonathan Jennings is going to lead the first lap here. Meanwhile, Christopher Simon is trying to fight off Justin McMahon down on the low side. Lucas Edwards right up there on the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings as they come off of turn number 2, and Edwards using that lower lane, trying to keep that car down there, trying to keep the momentum going, as we had one car really sideways in the back. I believe that was Orlando Harrell that was got a little loose there. Able to hold on to it though. A little battle heating up here between Andrew Lucas and Gary Maydew. Meanwhile, Justin McMahon trying to get around Townsend. Townsend catches the wall just a little bit as they come off of turn at number 2. And now Townsend's going to cross over McMahon, going down into turn number 3. Side by side, door to door off of turn 4 and down to the stripe. And McMahon's going to have the advantage off of turn 4 just a little bit, as here comes Townsend back to the inside, going to drive it in hard. And he's going to pull away from McMahon a little bit off of turn number 2. It's a little further back, Kevin Brown battling side by side with Kevin Powell. Powell able to use that high lane to pull back ahead of Brown, move himself up into the 10th position. The battle between Eric Warman and Baker Knapp. Warman on the inside, he's going to take that position, move himself up into 13th. Meanwhile, as they come down the backstretch, Steve Gerber has a mirror full of Gary Maydew. Gerber already starting to slide up the track a little bit, try to use that higher lane, see if you can find a little bit of grip up there. As already the track is starting to change. Well, gaggle cars back here. A pretty hard battle between Trevor Malakin. I'm not really sure how to say that. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Michael Dow right here. Stephen Bonomo. Peyton Duggar in this mix. And Bonomo now with a challenge to the inside from McLachlan. So down on the inside is the place to be for the time being, but as the run continues to go on, I'm sure these drivers are going to really start pushing up the track a little bit, and one driver who's starting to move forward right now is that 18 of Trevor McLachlan. He is up 3 spots up into the 17th position. Meanwhile, a little further up, Gary Maydew and Andrew Lucas are side by side. This is a battle for the 7th position. Maydew's going to take that spot, move him up into the 7th spot. Meanwhile, up front, Jonathan Jennings still has a mirror full of Lucas Edwards. As we take a look off the back bumper of the 91. And right behind Edwards is the 10 of Travis Townsend right there as well. We see Townsend running a bit up the racetrack as opposed to everybody else. Now he's going to run down to the low side of Edwards, trying to see if he can make a move up into 2nd place. A little blink there for Townsend. Had a little disconnect for a moment, but he is back. A little further back, we see Maydew and Andrew Lucas continuing to battle side by side for the 7th position. See in the chat, 94 here to cheer on my teammates. That'd be the 94 of Tyler Millette. Not able to race here tonight, but he's in the chat, cheering his teammates on. Good to have you in the chat. As this battle rages on here between the 77 and the 63. This time, though, it looks like Andrew Lucas is going to clear Maydew down into turn number 1. Oh, driver just tearing through the field right now is this 31 of Eric Warman. Warman up into the 13th position, trying to take over the 12th spot from Kevin Brown. While they're doing that, we see the 96 of Baker Knapp starting to move forward as well, trying to catch up to this battle. Well, we've got a battle up here for 2nd place as Lucas Edwards is being challenged on the high side by Travis Townsend. And Townsend going to use that high lane to move around Lucas Edwards and move him back into the 3rd position. Justin McMahon's going to try to follow through as well. So it looks like Lucas Edwards might have burnt off his tires a little early here as he's now starting to slide back a little bit. We're only about 15 laps in, and already we're seeing about a second of fall off. As Jonathan Jennings' best time was a 31.68. His last time was a 32.68. Yeah, we're starting to see big drop-offs from these tires already. As Gary Maydew now has to battle here with the 114 of Mark Dumont. Dumont, though, going to have to tuck back in line. And he's going to take another shot at it here as they go down into turns 1 and 2. And Trevor McLachlan up into the 15th position already. Up 5 spots where he started and continuing to work his way forward through the field as here comes Christopher Simon looking down to the inside of Lucas Edwards. And Edwards is going to lose 2 spots here as Steve Gerber follows Christopher Simon on through. So Edwards, after having such a great start and staying up front for a few laps, now finding himself sliding backwards through the field. Meanwhile, not too far behind, we see a 3-way battle here between Gary Maydew, Mark Dumont, and Eric Warman. Dumont using that low lane, trying to get down underneath Maydew. Well, that's going on up front. We've got a battle going on as well as Justin McMahon. It's right there on the back bumper of Travis Townsend. If this is your first time joining us for the Doghouse Racing League, welcome. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. These drivers use about 70% fuel here tonight. They do not have a reset. So if they do get into an accident and there's any damage accrued, they will have to get that fixed up or retire from the race. So these races are usually pretty clean though, and a lot of fun to call as we see Jonathan Smith battling with Kevin Powell. This is a battle for the 8th position. And Eric Warman getting around at Mark Dumont, so move Warman up into the 10th position. Here's Lucas Edwards and Andrew Lucas battling side by side. So Lucas and Lucas, as Andrew Lucas is going to move up into the 6th position. And continues to march his way forward as well. Now McMahon's fallen back a little bit into the clutches of Christopher Simon, who's turned things on the last few laps. And talking about that fall off yet again, we're only 21 laps into the event. Jonathan Jennings' best time again was a 31.68. Last time by, he ran a 33.30. So almost 2 seconds of fall off already, and we're not even 25 laps in as Justin McMahon makes a move down to the inside to try to take that 2nd position away. We continue to battle side by side here for the 2nd position. While that's going on, Jonathan Jennings is just pulling away his lead now, 2.5 seconds. Look at this, Steve Gerber is up in this mix as well, so we've got a 4-car battle now, essentially, for our final 2 podium positions here tonight. Meanwhile, Kevin Brown and Baker Knapp continue to go at it. This is a battle for the 13th position. As Kevin Brown takes that spot away, and see, McMahon was able to clear Townsend. Here comes Simon down to the inside, trying to take a spot away, and Gerber up on that high side, trying to take a spot away from Simon. Enjoy the views from the racetrack here. Atlanta has a lot of great history at this racetrack. Although the reconfiguration recently, some people love it, some people hate it. But iRacing keeping this old historical version in definitely allows drivers to race on a track that has a lot of character. It's tough to drive. This track is incredibly tough to drive. It's tough to keep the tires. Oh, we see McMahon, and that's one of the things you see. McMahon just got really, really loose off of turn number 2. I had to drive it all the way down to the bottom of the racetrack, and now he's going to lose some time here, as here comes Travis Townsend trying to take that 2nd position back. through turns 1 and 2 side by side. And Christopher Simon trying to catch right up to the back bumper as well. Steve Gerber and Andrew Lucas back in this mix as well. And I'm watching these lap times, and it seems like every couple laps the lap times drop another couple tenths. And right now we see some great racing. The drivers who have been able to save some tire versus the drivers who might have burned a little bit of their tires off. Christopher Simon trying to get around Townsend up on the high side. Townsend drives it back in deep on the low side. Simon, though, using that high lane advantage, keeping the engine revved up a little bit higher, able to keep that momentum up on the high side. He's going to clear Travis Townsend as here comes Steve Gerber trying to work on Townsend now. We're quickly approaching the halfway point. Jonathan Jennings out in front. Pulling away. He is 3.5 seconds ahead of second place Justin McMahon. Christopher Simon currently sits back in the third position, and Steve Gerber back in fourth. Andrew Lucas clawed his way back up into the fifth spot. Travis Townsend, though, unfortunately on a bit of a backward slide. He is back in the sixth position. He's got Jonathan Smith trying to make a move down underneath him. And Kevin Powell in the 93 right here in this mix here for the seventh position, as here comes Kevin Powell looking down to the inside. About to go 3 wide here with, well, I thought we were going to go 3 wide here is Kevin Powell. Almost was 3 wide there with John Smith and the 10 of Travis Townsend. We just saw a couple drivers get up in the wall. Steve Gerber falling backwards quickly. Has Gerber made contact with the outside wall? That way he's sliding back. Let's see if we can see here. Fortunately, I can't see a camera view of the right side of this car. Let's see if he indeed did make contact with the outside wall. Looks like the car is all right. He might just check up for something, although can't tell if that's the glare of the sun. The car looks like it's in all right condition, so he might have just got a little sideways and had to get out of it. Meanwhile, look at this battle back here. You see Michael Dow, Barry Knapp, Peyton Duggar, Chuck Cobb, Gary Amio, Cameron King, Mike Leftwich, all in this battle right here. Meanwhile, Eric Warman taking a look down to the inside of Steve Gerber. We have our first driver down on pit road. That is the 76 of Lucas Edwards. Going to come down and pit first. As Jonathan Jennings continues to circulate the track and lead, as now Travis Townsend coming down on the pit road. Will that started the flurry of cars making their way to pit road. We were just a couple of laps away from halfway. Fortunately, pitting here, Steve Gerber now on pit road as well. See Gerber on pit road, Baker Knapp on pit road. So coming down pit road right now is going to cost you a ton of time. However, once you get those fresh tires on, right now they are looking to be about 2.5 seconds a lap quicker than old tires. So I think more and more drivers are going to start hitting pit road. Here we go. Kevin Powell on pit road. We are at halfway. See Kevin Powell, Gary Amio, Daniel Wilkerson all on pit road right now. And here comes Jonathan Jennings on the pit road. So your leader pits, that's going to put Jess McMahon out in front. Of course, with how much those tires are, flurry of cars on pit road. Andrew Lucas on pit road, Bill Gentry, Mark Dumont, Ty Schoening, Stephen Bonomo, Chuck Cobb, Peyton Duggar. So I imagine we'll see Justin McMahon probably coming in this time. As I say that, he passes right by pit road. But Christopher Simon comes on. So Christopher Simon on pit road, Kevin Brown, Cameron King, all on pit road as well. Justin McMahon, John Smith, Eric Warman, Michael Dow, Mike Leftwich, Orlando Harrell, Trevor McLachlan. Although here comes McMahon on the pit road now. John Smith is going to pass him though. Eric Warman coming down on the pit road. Here comes Michael Dow. Sounds like Dow's going to be hitting pit road. No, Dow stays out on the racetrack. Here's the 18 of Trevor McLachlan down on pit road. See in the chat here, Will says, "Let's go Townsend and Knapp. Get it in gear, fellas." As John Smith continues to circulate the track as the leader, but not really the best way to do it right now, as he is losing a ton of time to the drivers who have come down on pit road, as Michael Dow and Mike Leftwich both hit pit road. And John Smith finally going to make his way down on the pit road. There's Orlando Harrell. We'll see if he comes down on the pit road this time as well. I imagine these drivers are just about out of fuel as well, as you see Harrell take the left-hand turn down on the pit road. As it's all cycling out, it looks like Travis Townsend will be your leader over Jonathan Jennings by about almost 4 seconds. See on the ticker there, the gap between Townsend and Jennings is 3.7 seconds. The other advantage for Townsend right now is he's in clean air. If we look at Jonathan Jennings, he's battling side by side with a couple lap cars. This is the 89 of Jeffrey Engel. The 58 of Nick Schell stayed up on the high side allowed. Jennings to go on by. We see off of turn number 2 comes Jennings now, just as Townsend's making his way down into turn number 3. Peyton Duggar and Chuck Cobb going at it here. This is a battle for the 16th spot. Ooh, big block there out of Chuck Cobb. Trying to hold off Peyton Duggar. Here comes Duggar back down to the inside. Not able to make that happen. Here's a battle here as Eric Warman going around Lucas Edwards. So Eric Warman up 7 spots up into the 8th position. Ty Schoening up into the 10th spot, up 17 positions from where he started. Chuck Cobb, another big mover, up 13 spots into 16th. Not so much a big mover, but a big surprise here is Travis Townsend up at the front trying to pull away from Jonathan Jennings, although Jennings is a little bit quicker than Townsend is right now by about 0.4 of a second. And when we cross the line next time by, we'll have just 25 laps to go. Don't forget to join us after this one's over, as we'll have the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series taking on Texas Motor Speedway in their regular season finale before we get the playoffs underway. A couple drivers on the bubble. That's going to be an exciting one to watch. So tune in for our doubleheader here on Tuesday nights right after this one's over. Meanwhile, we see Kevin Powell and Andrew Lucas battling it out here for the 4th position. And not too far behind him is the 27 of Christopher Simon, who showed some long run speed earlier. He's trying to work his way back up towards the top 5. A battle back here between John Smith and Bill Gentry. Smith going to have to, Gentry going to have to relinquish that spot. Smith now sets his sights on the 47 of Ty Schoening. Schoening right there on the back bumper of John Smith, trying to get around, trying to get something happening here. As we are quickly approaching 20 laps to go. Meanwhile, up front, Townsend. That gap back to Jennings is now just about half a second. As Townsend has a little connection issue there, working around the inside, the 92 of Cameron King. While they're battling side by side, that's allowing Jonathan Jennings to pull right up to the back bumper of Travis Townsend. about to have a battle for the lead as here comes Jonathan Jennings. Tucked right underneath the back bumper of Townsend. Gonna take a look down to the inside. And Jennings gonna take over the point from the 10 of Townsend. Of course, Jennings has, it doesn't sound like much, but 3-lap newer tires than the 10 does. At a track here like Atlanta, that actually does make a little bit of a difference. Lucas Edwards right there on the back bumper of Mark Dumont, trying to take over what would be the 12th position. And Daniel Wilkerson and Cameron King going at it back here. There's a battle for 20th. Christopher Simon taking a look down to the inside of Kevin Powell. It's Powell trying to fight off on the high side. Far with 18 laps to go, we've been caution free, not trying to put the broadcaster curse on it, but right now we've been caution free since the drop of the green flag. You see Andrew Lucas trying to work through some lap traffic here. Steve Gerber in the 8, he is the 3rd place car. Andrew Lucas back and forth. In front though, we've got Richard Leclerc and Gary Amio. Those two are having a little battle with themselves. As now Christopher Simon, Andrew Lucas working on the back bumper of Steve Gerber, trying to use the lap car to pull him by as they come through the quad oval. Ooh, Gerber makes hard contact with the outside wall. That's going to slow the momentum of the 8, allow Andrew Lucas to make a look down to the inside. As they come off of turn number 4, now Amio up into the outside wall lightly. Down to the stripe, 15 laps to go. Jonathan Jennings now out in front of Travis Townsend by about almost 2 seconds now. As Townsend's got some lap traffic in front of him in the form of Daniel Wilkerson. Also see Orlando Harrell, and I believe that is Mike Leftwich. This is a battle for position between Harrell and Leftwich. So don't expect them to cut any breaks to the drivers from behind. As Steve Gerber got really loose there off the corner, that allows Christopher Simon to slide around and up into the 4th position. It looks like Kevin Powell is going to follow on through. We almost had our first caution of the night. It says just a matter of time before Townsend gets the lead, and right now it looks as if Townsend's starting to fall back a little bit further. Take a look at the lap times. Jennings has been between 3 and 4/10 of a second quicker than Townsend, minus the middle lap there. I think that was because Jennings is dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. So Jonathan Jennings currently with a 2.3 second lead over second place Travis Townsend. Across the track there, everybody seems like the field's starting to spread out just a little bit. As I say that, Justin McMahon trying to make a move here on Steve Gerber, who McMahon up into the 6th spot. Last season, Justin McMahon was battling with Jonathan Jennings for the championship. This season, he's not really been able to put full races together. As Christopher Simon is now getting under attack from the 93 of Kevin Powell. This is a battle for the 4th position. So as they run right now with just under 10 laps to go, Jonathan Jennings out in the lead. He's got a couple lap cars that he's contending with right now. Travis Townsend about 2.5 seconds back in second. Just made his way around the 58 of Nick Schnell. Andrew Lucas back in third. He's got a second advantage over 4th place Christopher Simon. Simon under attack right now from the 93 of Kevin Powell. Right behind we see Steve Gerber battling with Eric Warman, as Warman's now able to move up into the 7th position. And John Smith runs back in 9th, and Ty Schoening in 10th. And that is your top 10 currently as they run. As Chuck Cobb is battling side by side with Peyton Duggar, excuse me. Ooh, and some contact there between Duggar and Cobb. We've been green since the drop of the green flag. Almost just had ourselves a big one right there. That would change this entire race if we were to have a yellow and have to re-rack them. Oh, Bill Gentry now up into the top 10 as he makes his way around Ty Schoening. And Christopher Simon still battling here with Kevin Powell. Powell trying to use that low line, just not able to get the grip down there or the power down to try to move around that 27. We have just 5 laps to go. Down the backstretch, Simon's able to stay ahead of Powell on the straightaways, but Powell able to dive down into the turn a little bit better, pulls alongside Christopher Simon, but Simon able to motor off that high side a little bit better. At least I thought he did, as here comes Powell this time. Yeah, just not able to get that power down on the low side. He's almost able to get up alongside Christopher Simon, but then Simon able to pull back away off the corners. We have just 4 laps to go. Simon trying to hold on to this 4th spot in our season finale. White Ghost says Max Verstappen, and yeah, that's basically what Jonathan Jennings has been the last few seasons. is the second coming of Max Verstappen, winning almost all the races. As this battle for the fourth spot continues between Simon and Powell. With just 2 laps to go, though, Jonathan Jennings able to manage this traffic. Still has a 2.8 second advantage over second place Travis Townsend as he comes down through the quad oval. For the final time, 1 lap to go. So the season finale is going to go green flag to checker flag as we see the 421 for Orlando Herald get a little loose there coming down the backstretch, able to get down on the apron to avoid causing any further problems as he comes off of turn number 4. Jonathan Jennings was going to win the season finale, the Drake's Garage 111 here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Travis Townsend brings it home in second, and Andrew Lucas will bring it home in third. Christopher Simon stays ahead of Kevin Powell coming to the line. It's felt like a couple weeks since I've had a chance to talk to Jonathan Jennings. He's going to come up here on the front stretch where he's going to celebrate his victory. And in traditional fashion, we'll see if Jennings is able to burn down the whole front stretch here. So avoid the 93. Does a burnout around the 93. That's impressive. That might have been one of the most impressive burnouts I've seen in a while, avoiding cars stopped on the front stretch. Man, let's take a look at our final results here tonight. As Jonathan Jennings gets the season finale win and the championship here tonight at Atlanta. Travis Townsend comes home second. Andrew Lucas back in third. Christopher Simon brings it home fourth. And Kevin Powell back in the 5th position. Justin McMahon falls back to 6th. Eric Warman back in 7th. Steve Gerber, John Smith, and Bill Gentry round out your top 10. Ty Schoening brings it home in 11th tonight with Mark Dumont back in 12th. Baker Knapp in 13th. Michael Dow 14th, and then Trevor McLachlan, in the 15th position. Chuck Cobb comes home 16th. Cameron King 17th. Peyton Duggar back in 18th. The 19th is Lucas Edwards with Stephen Bonomo back in 20th. 21st, Jeffrey Engel, 22nd. Orlando Herald, 23rd, Mike Leftwich, 24th, Nick Schell, 25th, Richard Leclerc, then Daniel Wilkerson back in 26th, Kevin Brown, 27th, Gary Amio back in 28th, 29th was Gary Maydew, and Joey rounds out the field here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Drake's Garage 111. Let's see if we can get a word in with our top three. It looks like Andrew Lucas did not make his way down to the waiting room, so let's see if we can get a word here with our second place finisher, which was Travis Townsend. Travis, you got Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, a great run here for you here tonight. Come home a little bit short. Looked like you had the strategy that was going to pay off, though. You were out in front of Jennings for a little bit there, but he was able to run you down on that long run and get back by you. I noticed that the fall off on these tires was huge, about almost 3 seconds over the course of the run. Uh, was that kind of the goal coming in, trying to goal from the get go, coming in a little bit earlier than everybody else, getting tires to see if you get yourself a little lead and pad yourself out there?
Yeah, I kind of backed myself into that corner. I was really disappointed. The first run, I pushed way too hard early in the race and blistered the tires and found the wall at one point there off turn two. And that kind of messed the aero on the car up a little bit. So felt like I needed a pit. I was giving up ground. So I short pitted, and obviously that jumped me out front. And I did a better job with conserving the tires the second run, but I just didn't have enough there to hold Jonathan off.
Yeah, this track is historically known for being tough on tires. Was that something that you kind of came in with the mentality of trying to save? I know you said you didn't save very well on the front first run, but was that something that you knew you were going to have to do, try to save to be there at the end if we had a long run like we did?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely always part of the old Atlanta configuration. You know, you're going to eat up the tires, so you got to save a little bit early and middle part of the run to hopefully be there at the end. And like I said, I was disappointed with myself. I just pushed way too hard the first 10 or 15 laps and paid for it really the rest of the race.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of cordial racing, a lot of hard racing out there tonight in the season finale, but no cautions. Did that kind of surprise you not having any cautions here tonight that could have played into your strategy there at the end?
Oh, absolutely. That was one thing with pitting early. I had a little bit of heartburn. You know, if the yellow came out, in that pit cycle, I was going to be in trouble. And then once it didn't, I thought, man, if I could catch one here with 15 or 20 to go, I may be okay. I may be in the catbird seat. So, it's surprising, really. I mean, with as hard of a combination of track and cars this is, that we went that entire race green. But that's just an attaboy to everybody in this league and everybody out there on the track to keep it going in the same direction.
Yeah, for sure. Well, again, congratulations on the runner up here tonight. I believe you're runner up the last two races now. So, congratulations on that. And before I let you go, Travis, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
I just want to thank everybody out there on the track tonight. Like I said, everybody did a fantastic job keeping the cars going straight. And thank you all for doing the broadcast. It's always fun to go back and check out.
Awesome, man. Well, again, I appreciate it. And congratulations. And I'm sure you'll be running with these guys next season, which starts up in a couple weeks. So, good luck next season. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
Have a great night. As your second place finisher, Travis Townsend. Let's bring in your winner here tonight for the 18th millionth time this season, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, these guys in the chat are calling you Max Verstappen with as dominating as you've been this season. But man, congratulations on the win and the championship this season. No, a little bit of bad luck the last couple weeks or last week at Talladega. Didn't really get to talk to you, but man, you're right back here and up where you like to be, up at the top with an impressive burnout too, right around your teammate there on the front stretch. I know this track really eats into your, or really plays into your style of racing, where you're able to save tires and be there at the end. Were you kind of surprised to see that Travis went in a little bit earlier and had that little bit of a lead on you coming off that pit cycle?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could make it up, to be honest, without I had a guy outrun me here in the trucks a few seasons back, and he short pitted me, and I never could close the gap quick enough to take the lead back. But yeah, he kind of surprised me a little bit.
And the other surprising thing tonight, as slick as the track was, we went green flag to checker flag without any issues. I did see at one point you got caught up in a little bit of lap traffic that got a little sketchy there for a little while. But were you kind of surprised that the caution didn't come out tonight? And did you have something in the back of your mind, strategy wise, in case it did?
Now, well, I had an extra set of tires. I would have definitely took those. But yeah, it was surprising, but at the same time, the way the season went, really haven't had that many cautions. Everybody's been doing really well, and the turnout was pretty good tonight. So I
Yeah,
expected a couple, but especially like I expected one right off the start because even starting in the second gear, it was spinning. So
yeah. This track is famous for definitely spinning tires on the starts. Yeah, we haven't really had too many races that had a lot of cautions. Really, just the short tracks. I want to say Phoenix had quite a few. Um, Richmond had like one or two. So yeah, it's been pretty clean this season. But man, dominating performance on the season again this season, getting the win in the race and the season. Talk about next year though, because I know Travis Townsend, he's really come out of nowhere his last two races. He's been up there at the top. Is he someone to watch next season? Or you got your eye on him?
oh yeah, he's doing really well. There's quite a few others to be honest. It's really come on strong here the second half of the season. They just got to get their strategy right, I think, and they'll be there. Um, they're running good.
Well, I've enjoyed this switch over to the Xfinity series. It's really brought a little bit more competition out there. And of course, Jonathan, before we let you go, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give here tonight?
You guys for the broadcast, Daniel for putting these things on every week, and my teammates and everybody that practices with me, and league sponsor Shoney's, Group 6, and crap.
I thought you were going to get it. The last race of the season, I thought you had it written down by now.
Simpson Paint Shop, and dang it, the garage. I can't think of the name.
Drake's Garage.
Yeah, there we go. That one. And Fanatic.
Perfect. Well, always glad to help you out here and with your interview. But man, again, congratulations on the win, Jonathan, and congratulations on the championship, and good luck next season. Looking forward to doing it all again in a couple weeks.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to check out our great partners, including Shoney's, our league sponsor and series sponsor, Group 6, Simpson Race Design, and Fanatics. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is an affiliate sponsor or a partner with Fanatics. Any purchases made from the link down below do help earn commissions for the league and help them fund the league. So you can check that out down below. Of course, as I mentioned before, our series sponsor, Shoney's. The Tuesday Night Racing League is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, or take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, we also want to thank our series sponsor, or our race sponsor, who's sponsored quite a few races this season, Drake's Garage. Check them out on YouTube and Instagram at Drake's Garage. They do customization, welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and more. So check them all out down at the link below. Of course, check out our great partners, Race EPI, for all your iRacing coaching needs. Our website over at Intensity Apparel, where you can pick up some swag, or if you're a race team looking for swags, get a quote from us today. And also the Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs. That's going to do it for us here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League. Of course, we're going to be live back here in about a half-hour time as the SCSRA Truck Series takes on Texas Motor Speedway in their regular season finale before the playoffs start. So check us out right back here. Hit that little notification bell, hit that like button, and as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.